Alright, time for Collision Chaos Zone 2. To tell the truth, I don't really remember much about Sonic CD in terms of like level layouts and things. In a lot of ways, I almost feel like Sonic CD iterates on Sonic 1 in a way that Sonic 2 actually doesn't. Basically, the Sega branches were kind of, or the original design team was kind of split off, basically. Like, an American branch of Sega worked on Sonic 2, and a Japanese branch worked on Sonic CD. So I almost feel like, in terms of the design philosophy, this game is closer to Sonic 1, and it's almost like a split path, basically. Sonic 2 kind of builds off the like high-speed platforming side of Sonic 1. Sonic CD builds off of like, Marble Zone, the slow exploration side of Sonic 1, which, both are valid approaches if done correctly, I think. Whether this is done correctly is obviously up for debate. In the case of Sonic CD, very much up for debate, because this is a very, very divisive Sonic game. I go back and forth on this game a lot, to be honest, and we'll see why later. But after playing through it through Origins, this was actually the first time I played the 2011 version. I actually own it on Steam, which you actually can't buy it anymore. They delisted it when Origins released, which really is unfortunate. But basically, I kind of feel like, in a lot of ways, the 2011 version, at least through Origins, does fix a lot of my issues with the original, having like the better spin dash, and in this case, the drop dash actually is very nice. And we'll demonstrate this a little bit later, why the drop dash is so good in this game. It's still a little glitchy. It has a little animation problem with Sonic 1, where it's not like a fully like designated spin like drop dash animation like Mania. It's kind of like a hybrid like spin dash that's kind of rigged up to work like a drop dash, so it doesn't look as like fluid as the as Mania's drop dash, but it gets the job done. I feel like Sonic CD is a game because of... Never mind, I was just going to say, I'm having to play very carefully because of not losing rings, and yet I lost all my rings anyway. We have a lot of chances to get the special stages at least, so I'm not overly worried. I am slightly worried instead, which is an improvement, but still not great. We're definitely not getting enough rings in this stage to get the special stage, unless I do some like time travel shenanigans and try to hope for more rings in a different timeline. By the way, these stages typically still have a 10-minute timer, which I feel like goes into one of my issues with Sonic CD, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. For now, I kind of want to focus on actually getting rings, because we're really close, actually. We might be able to get to the next special stage. Nope, this is the end of the stage. Yeah, I might actually go back a ways just to check, be on the safe side. One thing I've noticed is that enemies don't really respawn much in this game, or in Origins in general, which is actually kind of nice. So, one thing about the drop dash is it kind of breaks time travel. That was not enough speed, apparently. But basically what I mean... Oh, well that worked out. Basically what I mean is you can actually drop dash back and forth to time travel. Let's actually try to demonstrate that really quickly. Yeah, if you drop dash back and forth, this should work. So yeah, you can kind of drop dash to kind of get through some of the sections where you can't really easily build up speed to travel through time, which is actually nice. Also, we're in the future, the bad future specifically, which I don't really care, because at the very least, we can at least get enough rings to get another special stage. Actually, we weren't as close to the end as I thought, so I really didn't need to do that. Again, I'm not super familiar with Sonic CD. I have really weird memories of this game. My first experience with it wasn't actually playing the game, but watching the opening, because it was actually included in Sonic Mega Collection as a bonus. starting with Special Stage 4, I basically dislike all of these, and for increasing levels and for different reasons though. Like, I want to say this is the one I actually struggle with the most because it actually has some of the most water, or I might be thinking of the next one. Also, a lot of spikes like those. I would almost recommend not breaking the blue UFOs at first, just because the speed shoes are so unwieldy. It'd almost be better to go for the purple UFOs first, and then worry about this, and then get the speed up when you don't actually have to keep moving, like at the very end. I'm actually gonna kind of go around here to get a better angle at this UFO, like so. And because we found no robot generators, we're in the bad future. And speaking of in the bad future, I don't like this boss in any future. This is like the worst boss in the game. Have I ever talked in a video about Sonic Spinball and how my early Sonic memories involved playing that game because that was on Mega Collection? I never got past the first stage in Spinball. I found like 1 Chaos Emerald out of like 3, and that's as far as I got. So guess what? I don't like this boss, because I'm bad at pinball. This is a boss entirely built around pinball. I actually imagined this would have come out first. I want to say Sonic Spinball was actually kind of late into the Genesis's run. Alright, so actually that went pretty smoothly, all things considered. Since we just went through Pseudo Springyard, next up is Tidal Tempest, which is Pseudo Labyrinth. In all fairness, this actually isn't as painful as Labyrinth Zone. It's actually pretty manageable, to be honest. I would go as far as to say this is probably one of the more tolerable water zones in the Sonic game. So basically, something I feel strongly about with Sonic CD, and we'll notice this more later on, is Sonic CD is a game built on platforming instead of speed. There's a lot of things that might blindside you if you're going too quickly, and if you're trying to get the robot generators and Metal Sonic Projector, and also collect 50 rings to get the special stages, you might have a rough time actually going fast through this game, which creates a sort of different dynamic compared to other Sonic games. In a game like this, I kind of feel like other than the little future or the time travel like trick, you know, the drop dash is nice to have, but it's almost not that helpful in most cases because you're kind of just slowly platforming and you're not really like trying to go fast half the time. I almost clipped that enemy. I clipped the enemy anyway. Thanks, game. Now I have no rings for this. Well, that was unfortunate. I actually kind of wanted those rings. We might not get the special ring in this stage for obvious reasons, but we still have plenty of chances. I would have liked to have gotten all the time stones by the next zone, or the next like stage, but doesn't look like that's happening. Yeah, we have plenty of opportunities, no worries. So let's hope Act 2 goes a little bit better. I don't know how you get those rings, by the way, as this thing slowly pushes us off into the water, or not into the water, I guess. Yeah, it's very Labyrinth-esque, which, you know, as much as Labyrinth gets picked apart by the Sonic community, I almost feel like, yeah, weirdly enough, water stages never mind. I am taking back every possible nice thing I could say about Tidal Tempest. I have never had this much bad luck with enemy positioning. By the way, as a reminder, in Sonic Origins, you do have a restart, and you don't have lives, so you don't have to worry about burning lives to restart. So what you can do is just restart the level, and then play through it again. These stages are actually pretty short, especially if you're not worried about robot generators and all that. Yeah, inherently, these stages are actually pretty short for even like Sonic standards. So yeah, if you really want the time stones as soon as possible, just like save and quit basically, or just reload, or yeah, restart the level and try again. Invincibility, that is very much appreciated because again, I would like to hold on to rings. We're at 48 right now. Again, I guess I've learned my lesson to not compliment water zones in Sonic games. We're actually moving this little platform, by the way, so let's avoid getting crushed, if at all possible. Alright, there are a couple rings up there. I actually don't think I can reach those. Sadly, there's no like Sonic and Tails mode, so we're kind of out of luck in that regard. Also, I feel like bubbles spawn more often in CD compared to Sonic 1, which is actually really nice. You don't really have to worry about drowning nearly as much, or hardly at all, really, which is great. That's an issue with Sonic 1, it's just how infrequently bubbles actually spawn. Because if they actually spawned more often, it would be a lot less scary. Speaking of scary, trying not to get squished by these blocks. Yeah, overall as far as the water stage goes, this is pretty doable. I think we're actually at the end already. These stages aren't very long. I take it back, it's this one I don't like. 1, there's like a lot of water. 2, the UFOs actually move very quickly. Also, one interesting thing is they actually look worse. These special stages actually look worse than the PC version. Like they're really cleaned up in the PC version, but they actually look a little bit more pixelated. And I think that was a deliberate design choice to make it look more like retro almost. But yeah, I almost feel like the special stages look better in the original PC version, which again is why it's a shame that that version has been delisted. Even though in general Sonic Origins is pretty alright, outside of a few issues, specifically with a different game on the collection, I do wish they hadn't removed the Steam versions of Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles and CD, just for the sake of preserving the actual Genesis originals, or in this case, Sega CD original. Not really preserving, because that was still the iPhone version at its core, but still, that's considered the definitive version. And this is also very close to being the definitive version. It just has a couple of added quirks because of the Origins compilation that make it slightly, maybe a little bit less definitive. Yeah, this is the special stage where I always struggle, so I'm not shocked that this is going not so great. I can't even get to the UFO that gives me the time up. There we go. And I missed. Alright, let's try this again. Attempt number 2. I'm saying this out loud just in case. I need to remember how many attempts this has taken. Again, maybe I should go for the purple UFOs first, just to avoid going too fast. It's kind of ironic, actually, going too fast in a Sonic game, and yet that is sometimes the case. Good start. This isn't even the hardest one, but I feel like this is the one I dislike the most. There's one I dislike more from an aesthetic standpoint than an actual gameplay standpoint, but this is probably the one I dislike the most from a pure, I cannot catch any of the UFOs perspective. And I'm definitely living up to that comment, because wow, my luck is terrible right now. My time is half up and I haven't gotten any so far. I never did these as a kid, by the way. I never actually got any of the time stones originally, so maybe I'm not as used to these, but then again, I also got all the emeralds relatively easily in Sonic 1, and I never did those special stages beyond like halfway through the first one when I was a kid. Well, we might as well grab the time up just in case this actually somehow ends up being a proper run. I'm not holding my breath at this point. This is bad even for me. I'm actually going to deliberately restart. Attempt number 3. Yeah. Again. The special... Well, I got 1, so this is already better than the previous attempt. 2. I'm dropping into the water a lot more than I'd like. We're also going really fast now. You think going faster would help, but again, depth perception, having to adjust to, yeah, the new depth perception from going faster is not great. Also, the spikes there, have to avoid those. I also feel like the UFOs have kind of like erratic movement patterns, like they kind of stop and go a lot, to the point where it's hard to like line up a jump, because they tend to turn around as soon as I start to jump, it feels like. And yeah, that was me being like too far forward. Alright, this last UFO is giving me problems, which is not great. We've gotten really close. I just need to actually stick the landing here. Get the extra time, for sure. And miss the UFO again. And now I don't even see it, which is not great. There it is. Now it turned around again. Cool.